Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I hope you had an amazing weekend. This is Monday's episode. So I'm actually recording this. And if you're watching on YouTube, I've got my purple on. It's Easter Sunday. Getting ready to go visit with my in laws and my family. It's a great day to be with your family. Not everyone celebrates Easter, but a lot of you have to go to work tomorrow, right? Monday. And I just did something on Instagram. I posted this post on Instagram and LinkedIn, and I'm going to share the post with you here in a minute. But I remember this feeling of when I was in my 9 to 5 job and I was traveling, when I would have to go to the airport on Monday, and it was just this feeling of dread, right? That I another week, another time that I have to say goodbye to my family and say goodbye to my young son. So I made a post on Instagram. I just put it out a couple of minutes ago, and I literally turned the camera on. And I said, I'm going to read this post. I'm going to make a podcast episode about it. So what I'm going to do here is and just bear with me. This isn't going to take a long time. You might be driving to work while you're listening to this, or maybe you're getting ready to work. Maybe you're in the airport like I was for years. I flew for 17 years at my job. I'm going to share this post with you. I'm going to read it verbatim. Okay. So this has never happened before. I've actually read something verbatim. And then I'm going to make a comment about what I read, about what I posted. And I'm going to let you get back to your day. But I really, the intent of doing this is I want to open up your eyes to a few things and share with you some personal experiences and just how I was thinking way back when. What I posted on Instagram, and you can go check that out, or LinkedIn if you follow me, was a photo that was taken of me in the airport. I had one of the in the on the airplane. Sorry, one of the flight attendants took a photo of me. I was flying to San Francisco from Chicago, and I had her take a picture of me on the 747. Never flown on the 747 before. They were getting ready to retire all of the planes. United was getting ready to retire all of the 747s, and I'm like, I got to get on this plane. Upper deck, sitting up there. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty awesome, right? So I had the flight attendant take a picture of me, and I've looked at that photo many times. And I'm going to read to you what I wrote right now, and then I'm going to comment on it. So here's the post. This photo was taken April 18th, 2016. It was on a Monday. I was traveling from Chicago to San Francisco, and this was my first time ever in the upper deck on the Boeing 747 plane. Pretty cool, huh? I'm smiling in that picture. Look a little closer. Does he look happy? That guy was miserable. Another Monday morning flight, another week away from my family, another week giving up on my dreams, another week of loneliness. Don't let that smile fool you. That life sucked. Being away from my family, away from my wife, and missing my young son grow up. Traveling 100,000 miles per year for a job I didn't like doing. I felt stuck, and I stayed there for 17 years because of one reason and one reason only. I was not willing to do what was required to get out of that life. It wasn't because I was too scared to fail or that I was afraid of how I would look in front of my peers. I wasn't afraid of losing money. I knew what I was supposed to do. I just wasn't willing to do it. And I told myself stories as to why. And those stories became my truth. In 2019, I made the decision to stop lying to myself and admit that I was lazy and complacent. I did what was required, what I had not been willing to do for most of my adult life. 9 months after making this pivotal decision, I said goodbye to that job, those airplanes, and the corporate world forever. I wasn't scared. I simply wasn't willing to do the work. I thought it was beneath me. Why am I telling you this? Because most people I interact with tell me the same stories as to why they haven't started their own business, why they choose to continue to tolerate their lives. They say they want out, but their actions don't prove it. I hear them every single day, and I know they are all stories that cover up the real truth. So let me ask you this question. Are you going to let another week go by listening to the nonsense you've been filling your head with for years? Or are you going to decide, commit, show up, and do what's required? You know what to do. Stop your excuses and go do it. This isn't easy. If it was, everyone would be doing it. Just know that I am 100% rooting for you. If I can, you can. Go make your life great. You're the only one who can. Brian. That's the end of the post. And I have not had a lot of feedback on that yet, but I've come to this realization. I really have, and it's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. And I firmly believe this after years of coaching people, working with people, being in the mastermind, and hearing the same stuff over and over again, and looking deep within myself. Like, that's the truth. I wasn't willing to do the work. I wasn't. And I made up these stories to make myself feel better about why I wasn't willing to take my shot. And then I made up reasons as to why I took my shot. You know, I talk about my son doing it for him. Yes, well, that's all true. I wanted out of that life, but I wanted something better for me. So have this moment with yourself where you're just honest. And if you're lazy, because I think most people are just simply lazy, they're not willing to do what's required. That's it. I was watching the movie last night, A League of Their Own, and there's this pivotal moment in the movie that I just love, and I talk about it all the time, where Gina Davis is leaving. Her husband came out of the war, and they're going home. They're leaving, and it's the World Series. And Tom Hanks goes up to her, and he says to her, "You'll regret quitting for the rest of your life." And I look at that and think, I would have regretted not trying for the rest of my life. So Gina Davis says back to Tom Hanks, "It just got too hard." And Tom Hanks looks at her. This is one of the greatest moments in movies, in my opinion. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great. This is what people are scared of, okay, is actually committing and doing the work, that it's hard. And this is what I've come to the realization. I realize that this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but sometimes you need to hear the truth, and you're lying to yourself. You're telling yourself that you can't do this because of these reasons. And the only reason is that you're not willing to do what other people are willing to do. And that's always going to hold you back. So until you're able to look yourself in the mirror and say to myself, I've been lying to myself. I'm telling myself stories as to why I'm not capable, as to why I can't do it, as to all of these reasons to make yourself feel better. You're covering up the truth. That's what you're doing. You're covering up the truth. That's what I did for most of my life, is I hid behind the truth. These stories, I hid behind them. And then I finally just said, you know what? I'm lazy. I'm not willing to do it. And then I got rid of that. Because let me just tell you something. I'm going to leave you with this. A mentor of mine told me this once, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know if she coined the phrase or not, but this is what she says. And I know it to be true, because you can't make a bad decision. You cannot make a bad decision if you commit, show up, and do what's required. You can't. And that's all I'm going to leave you with. And I want you to take that post that I wrote, what I read, I want you to replay it back multiple times if you had to, because the only thing that's stopping you is you. That's it. You are your only limit. Have that honest conversation with yourself, and just know that I'm rooting for you. I'm telling you this because I want you to do better. I know you're capable of it. If I can do it, you can do it. All right. I hope you all have an amazing week, an amazing day. And I really thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it and listening to me and hearing me out. Go make your life awesome. You deserve it.